All right, Shalom. First off, give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, the bonus of the apostles and elders of GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four quarters who are enduring, and truth and sincerity in the women and children who follow. I'm at work right now. Just wanted to do this quick lesson. I'm, doing a little surfing and wanted to, do this while the Spirit was on me. So I'm going to put this article in the description. It's from theguardian.com. Okay, so it says, risk of war with North Korea grows every day, says Trump security advisor. So we all know, or if you don't know, North Korea did a ICBM test, which is an intercontinental ballistic missile. They tested it and it was successful. So now they're an A1 competitor in the game, so to speak. Before they were able to hit South Korea, Japan, a few places in the South China Sea, maybe stretching out as far as Australia, but that's about it. Now they can hit anywhere in the U.S. They can hit Europe. They can hit Africa, South America. Whoever, whenever, and however they want to do it, they can do it now, and that puts them as a A1 major player in the game. And the U.S. doesn't like that. So, we're going to get into this article. It says, the potential of a U.S. war with North Korea is growing each day, Donald Trump's national security advisor said on Saturday. Speaking at the Reagan National Defense Forum in Simi Valley, California, H.R. McMaster said, North Korea is the greatest immediate threat to the United States. Now, why is that? Because he know Kim Jong-un ain't playing. He know that he's crazy and that, he'll push that button. Not only that, they didn't mention Russia, but they being North Korea is basically they're protected by Russia and China. Those are North Korea's two major trade partners. So anything that goes on with North Korea, you got to deal with them too. And China already came out and said that if there's a preemptive strike against North Korea, then they would respond with force as well. They're not going to allow anything to go on their border right there, especially not anything nuclear, because like I said, it's a nuclear war now. It's the new Cold War. They're not going to let a nuke go off on their shore and let all that fallout hit their people. So if you deal with North Korea, you're going to have to deal with China. You deal with China, you got to deal with Russia. You deal with China and Russia, you got to deal with, BRICS, which, that's a whole entity in itself. So all this is leading to the Third World War. But I'm going to get into this article. It says, I think it's increasing every day in which that we are in a race. Really, we are in a race to be able to solve this problem. And you can't solve this problem. The answer to the equation is death to America. Okay? It says, asked about North Korea's latest ballistic missile test this week, McMaster said U.S. President Donald Trump is committed to the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Now, why is it that, America can always go around and say you can have this or you can't have this, you can have nukes, we can have nukes, but y'all can't have nukes? Okay, or y'all want to demonize them or call them a state sponsor of terror. That's what America does. It pushes that propaganda. The scriptures say that they sit as God, in the seat of God, judging like they God. Roughly paraphrased. And the scripture that I got is going to go in on that too. It said, back to the article, it says, McMaster said China could impose more stringent economic sanctions against North Korea, saying it has tremendous coercive economic power over Pyongyang, which, like I said, China is actually a defense to North Korea. Now they did put some quote sanctions on them to get them to stop being as radical, but that's just smoke and mirrors for the world. It says there's ways to address this problem short of armed conflict, but it is a race because Kim Jong Un is getting closer and closer. There's not much time left. CNN reports McMaster said. So they're getting scared that they're getting closer and closer to being able to shoot that missile over here, and at any time they could shoot that missile. Okay, so this goes into the scripture, which is Isaiah, the 14th chapter, the 9th verse, says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. That's right, death is going to meet you. Okay? That's not talking about a fiery pit or Satan's address or house of residence. Okay, this hell is talking about a condition or the grave, which both is coming for the so-called white man, because they're going to be in a condition over here. Okay, they're going to be living in hell. They're going to be totally stressed out. They're already, you know what I'm saying, in a form of hell, just dealing with this dude. Okay, and it's going to get on that here in a second. But the grave, okay, this place is going to be done. And it's going to meet them as they coming. It says, it stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up their thrones, all the kings of the nations. Right, so, you know, everybody's going to be at your neck, America. And it says, well, that's why it says, all these that bend the bow shoot at her, spare no arrow, because everybody's going to shoot their missiles on America. It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? That's right, because at one point, America was the only one that had the bomb when they dropped it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But now, you know, of course, like you see, North Korea has it, Russia has it, China has it, India has it, South America has them, France has them, Great Britain has them, Italy has them, you know, and a host of other different countries have nuclear capabilities. So that's what the scripture is saying. Are you become weak as we? Are we on the same play field right now? Because you could, before, you could just go around and, you know, push your weight around and say, hey, look, I could drop a nuke on you. But now you got these other countries saying, well, shit, go ahead and do it, nigga. I'll drop a nuke right back on you. And, you know, nobody wants to get into a nuclear conflict. But to get back into this article a little bit more, it says, we're asking China not to do us or anybody else a favor, he said. We're asking China to act in China's interest as they should, and we believe increasingly that it's in China's urgent interest to do more. So, you know, the so-called white man want China to go do his dirty work. But like I said, that's they little buddy. You know, they have they have other interests in North Korea. Okay? So McMaster said China should cut off North Korea's oil imports. You can't shoot a missile without fuel. He added that both he and Trump felt 100% oil embargo would be appropriate at this point. You hear 100% oil embargo. Don't sell them no oil whatsoever. So, you know, damn the people that live there, you know, that need gas in their cars or heat for their homes or anything like that. They want to starve them for 100% oil. Now, what if America would starve for 100% oil? What if somebody said, you know, we're not going to ship no oil to America, and America had to just live off of the oil that they can produce here? You know, it would be hysteria in the streets, which America actually produces more oil than leads the world to believe, but it gets the majority of its oil from OPEC. It says he said Kim was unlikely to scale back his missile program without some significant new actions in the form of more aggressive sanctions and complete enforcement of the sanctions that are in place. So they want China to step up and do their job for them. He says the agency tasked with protecting the U.S. from missile attacks is scouting the West Coast for places to deploy new anti-missile defenses, two congressmen said, as North Korea's missile tests raised concerns about how the country would defend itself from an attack. That's right. So now they scrambling like, oh, where can we set up a missile defense base, to help save us? Because they got one around Russia. They're trying to surround China. Now they got to worry about, their own back. And, trying to, close in on North Korea. So, I'm not going to go any deeper. This is a good article. It had a little bit more to it. Like I said, Lord as well, I'm going to post this in the description. This thing is coming ahead, man. Things are speeding up. They got the ICB, the ICBM, okay? And America's afraid that they're going to use it. So they're trying to, do everything they can to stop it. With that being said, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the honors to the apostles, the elders of GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, and the women and children follow. Shalom.